We are going to go ahead and jump into our second game of Morrow versus QXC. I do think the way that Polt does Marauder Hellion makes it...
the way that Polt does anything.
Well, I mean, his build is a little bit... like he gets a solid 2-base economy before he really starts committing to it.
Yeah, and then he makes a nice mix between reinforcing and building SCVs. Like he somehow managed to do both, while most players only are able to do one of the two.
Like the only thing that I can really compare it to is like a Protoss player who's putting on 4-gate pressure off of 2 bases, continually making probes.
You know, I saw this little play-by-play video thing from Minigun, very good, of course, American Protoss player, where he played against Idra, and he was commentating his game. I'm not sure if you saw that YouTube clip.
I have not.
But I think it was really interesting. Minigun, an excellent player, and he also seems to be very well spoken, and he really explained his thought process behind the entire game. Now that was one of those games where a lot of things were going right, so it looked a lot easier, like one of those things easier said than done. But it made sense, and he played exactly like you just described. Put on 4-gate pressure, still made probes, and then followed it up with a Zealot Archon. That was a really cool build.
Yeah.
But I mean, that game, like stress like that, always in PvZ. Now we talk about PvZ, which is not really relevant, but just a small thing. All those builds, like 4-gate pressure, I still want to build probes, come down to one thing, and that is getting pylons on the other side of the map. The moment that Zergs are really active and try to deny pylons, a strat like that, it's not possible.
Well, I do think that kind of lends itself to maybe the next step in the evolution of the StarCraft metagame, though, where we talk about, all right, let's find a build that allows me to be always fighting, but also always growing.
Yeah, and that's of course the type of StarCraft that we want to see, because that provides the sickest games.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, this is game 2 between Morrow and QXC. Of course, if you guys missed game one or just tuned in, it was an excellent game around Tiga, where Morrow just played flawless besides one bad engagement in the middle of the map, but he could afford it because his economy was nuts. This is game 2. Ben, we didn't really review our predictions yet to the audience, but well, we both predicted Morrow to take this series.
Yes, we did. Morrow has been playing very, very well, both in the NASL and just in general recently.
And he's also one of those guys that really prepares every single week for his opponents. He was at Season 2 finals where he took out Mana 3-0 in the first round, but I think then he lost 3-1 against Storzen in the second round. But still, like that top 8 finish gave him $3,000, and it's not everywhere you can just win $3,000 by playing StarCraft. Morrow knows what the NASL can give you. I saw him preparing for Hydra last week, because he played actually from here, from Ontario, and it was really cool to see him analyzing VODs. He was even asking me questions, my opinion. I was really afraid, because I was afraid I would say something wrong, and then Morrow would do a strategy that wouldn't work out against Hydra. He's like, Kevin, can I punish this? I was like, I don't know, man.
We've got QXC putting on the same kind of early bunker pressure here. This time, Morrow gonna go ahead and give chase with these Zerglings, trying to micro his lings a little bit. He's doing a pretty good job of it. QXC, though, has some of the best control in the North American StarCraft scene. Kills every single Zergling and still manages to complete that bunker.
Yeah, I would say this is already a little bit better than it was before, because this time I think that maybe Morrow's going to have to worry a little bit more, even though so far he's doing the exact same thing. He's just producing 2 more queens. And he's probably going to follow it up with 1 more queen. This bunker is not in range of the mineral line. That's of course always the most important thing. It's in range of the hedge, but it takes such a long time for a couple of Marines to kill the hedge.
I'm really impressed with the way Morrow just doesn't overreact to anything. No. He's building drones, he's building overlords. We might say, okay, he hit a small supply block in the midst of this pressure, but I don't really think it was this bad, because these overlords pop as the larva comes off, which is right when he wants to, you know, spend that money that he's built up here.
And that's kind of what Stefano always does as well.
Yep, Queen popping out right in range of the bunker, but still no big deal. 8 lings on the way, and when they pop out, you will see Morrow trying to break out here.
QXC is following it up once more with the same style as he did on Antiga's factory into reactor. So he's going to try to do once more something with Hellions.
Yeah, QXC this time vacating with these Marines. He didn't want to lose the units, realizing that he had lost them in the last game, I guess. And we'll make it back home with enough units to put into a bunker at the top of his ramp, which is pretty smooth. Now, QXC's follow-up this time a little bit different. I think we're going to see some Blue Flame Hellions, Kev.
Yeah, because he does have the second factory, and we have this tech lab over here as well, so perhaps that's the way to deal with it. I like how QXC adapts straight away after 1 game. Sorry guys, did not spot that second factory straight away, because I was following the action over here, so I'm the one controlling the camera. Should have seen that, so I apologize.
Don't beat yourself up, Kev.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm slacking on the job. It's not good.
It's all good, my brother.
So yeah, maybe QXC thinks that this is the way he's going to deal with it, and I like how he straight away realizes that if he would play in the exact same style, it just doesn't work, because he didn't lose the previous game because he played bad. He just the strategy did not fare all that well against Morrow's playstyle, or perhaps the new playstyle in ZVT in general.
Well, I like this this Blue Flame Hellion follow-up from QXC for a couple of reasons. The biggest one is Morrow plays greedy. He doesn't like building spine crawlers. He cuts corners wherever he can. Blue Flame Hellions are going to kill every single Zergling without incident. Look at this great scout by Morrow, flies right in. Turn left. Okay, now he knows.
To the left, to the left. Everything you want to see in a box.
He reacts by starting a spine crawler, in fact. But Blue Flame Hellions also aren't that bad against Queens. They're not going to kill them quickly, but with the Blue Flame upgrade, they will kill them. Transfuse or no transfuse?
Spinecrawler is taking a lot of damage as well from all these Hellions right now, so he might be able to force a cancel on this one if he lets it finish. Well, he could actually transfuse. No, he's not going to let it finish, and he was not able to transfuse because he's been dropping so many crypt tumors. And yeah, but I of course 100% agree with everything you said. I like this so far a lot by QXC.
And here we go. QXC is going to make his way up into the natural. There's Zergling speed's not even done yet. Queen's coming out. Going to try to do whatever work they can. They do have that extra range. I don't really like the way QXC's controlling this. I feel like he could fight those Queens.
I think he's afraid that he gets trapped, and once the Spinecrawler finishes or a couple of links pop out, that he's going to lose all these Hellions. But QXC has so many Hellions, 3 more Hellions on the way right now. He's going to be able to take out the first Queen. Man, this is so smart by QXC. Yeah,
Blue Flame Hellion is going to persist with the aggression. Really working on this hatchery. We could realistically see Hellions kill a hatch here.
Wow, he's like 6 half the HP down.
Yeah, this is what I mean, man. Hellions, they're not like a counter to Queens at all, but they do really nice damage. And one more Queen does fall. Morrow is building roaches. It was great by him to recognize that he needed these roaches.
Yeah, he got the scout off, and that's why scouting is also important. And of course, the new Overlord helps out quite a bit with scouting things like that.
And now with roaches out, I do think that's going to spell the end of QXC's aggression.
But so far, he already did so much better than he did before. And he's going to follow this up with Marauders right now. We see Stim being researched as well. 1-1 on the way. If QXC makes another big push, if he keeps all those Hellions alive, and he moves out with, well, let's say 6, 7, 8 Marauders, I think he's going to be able to force Morrow to make so many units that Morrow's economy is going to be nowhere near as good as it was in the previous game.
This is actually so sick. In our break, we were discussing ways to play against this kind of a style, and this is one that we thought might be an okay choice, and that's exactly what QXC goes to. I would really love to see him try and push with about, like you said, 8, 10 Marauders and whatever Hellions he has out.
Look at what Morrow is researching right now, Ventral Sex and also Overlord Speed.
It's pretty good. Roach Drop is something that we saw Stefano use against Mech. Now, of course, QXC is not meching, but what game am I thinking of? Stefano versus a Terran on Antigua.
I'm not sure. Did I see it?
I don't even remember the tournament, but it was a meching Terran. And Stefano just dropped on top of the mech, like dropped all of his roaches on the mech, making it so the roaches never took damage, basically approaching siege tanks, and it was really cool.
Yeah, that is very smart. Morrow right now at 112 supply, QXC at 107, as we can see on the top side of our production bar. Morrow has 80 drones right now, so he has a very good economy, but his stack is nowhere near as developed as it was in the previous game.
A couple of roaches out of position. These Hellions are going to make short work of them.
Yeah, roach speed is not ready yet.
QXC showing off a little bit of Hellion micro just against these 2 roaches. That might not have been completely necessary.
Ends up losing 1 Hellion here. But still, so far so good. QXC has quite a few tanks as well, so he's not just going to try to make a follow-up push with Marauders. Even though the Marauder count is climbing, we have 5 Marauders on the map right now, 2 more are on the way.
Morrow is continuing to expand across the top half of the map as he pushes with these roaches. Finally, QXC does bring out the rest of his bio squad, and Morrow, upon seeing it, immediately gets the hell out of there.
Armory is almost ready, so Morrow can start those 2-2 upgrades if he wants to. Combat shield being researched now as well. A lot of roaches in production for Morrow.
What do you make of the way that Morrow's upgrading? He's getting attack upgrades, hasn't gotten a single armor upgrade.
Which is curious because there are quite a few tanks on the map as well.
Yeah, it's going to make his Lings a lot less effective, and I'm a little bit, let me see here, I'm just going to do a little bit of brain math.
Oh god, this is going wrong, guys. Bitter's going to do math on stream, we've seen this before.
No, I'm going to get away from this, but I feel like these roaches would really benefit. Yeah, obviously the roaches are going to benefit a lot from armor upgrades with Marines out, so skipping the armor. is an interesting
I
decision.
don't think Morrow is aware of this whole movement of... I mean, QXC is not aware of the movement of Morrow at all. I love this little multi-prong aggression from Morrow right now. A couple of roaches over here. Stim Bio Squad is going to stim in. It's going to be able to deal with that fairly easily, but most of the units from QXC are completely out of position for this big drop over here on the right side of the map.
QXC is going to take so much damage from this. Morrow's just going to be punishing him brutally for being out of position. Handful of bio units going to go down immediately.
Oh, look at the attack lab with combat shield, but he's not going to focus that.
No.
He's just going to kill as many SCVs as possible, maybe a few siege tanks. Well, QXC's here fairly quick though, but now once more roaches coming in from the left side. Ooh, Morrow's actually going to be able to save a lot of these roaches.
This vacates with a big group of those units, and at the same time we've got Morrow, second wave of the attack coming into the for the third base of QXC.
God, Morrow's playing good StarCraft these days, man.
Yeah, this kind of multi-pronged aggression is always so very exciting to watch. QXC brings down the tanks from his main base, but Morrow probably going to send that drop back once he realizes that QXC is again out of position.
The working count is still very high for QXC. He's still at 66 SUVs. He's producing 2 to 3 SUVs at once. Is he going to try to drop once more? Yes, he is. How many units? Well, we have 2 siege tanks. We have a couple of Marines over here, but still, these are all a lot of Zerglings coming in now as well, Ben.
Yeah, and these are what's really going to complicate this drop. The Lings, they're able to close on these siege tanks really fast. There's also some Banelings loaded up, and they're going to rain down on these Marines and maybe even make their way into the mineral line.
Wow, Morrow, meanwhile, still multi-prong aggression over here. The turret as well for QXC, so he's forced to abandon that base. This is as good as it's going to get in foreign ZVT, man.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Morrow, everywhere it runs right now on Ohana. Cleaning out that third base. QXC's command center, his fourth command center, has been very, very delayed. He's lost a lot of workers. 46 SCVs killed by Morrow. And
Morrow really showing off that he has a Brood War pass now as well with the multitasking that he's showing us. This is just really, really cool.
And turns out the armor upgrades don't really matter that much when you're just landing on top of whatever you're going to fight.
Yeah, maybe in that way it makes sense actually. Maybe he thought about it like that, Ben, because he restarted ventral stacks before he started those later upgrades. So might have been completely on purpose. Morrow is good.
Yeah, Morrow is going to go ahead and max out. He's getting his Hive, 7 infestors, a lot of Zerglings. QXC, he's kind of stabilized, and if you look at the army supplies, there's not that much of a difference. Again, Morrow is moving with another drop, though, Kev.
But the big problem is, ooh, he's going to lose 1 Overlord full of units, 2 Overlords full of units. This drop does not go as well as the previous drop, but still, once more, he's going to force QXC to retreat, which means more time for Morrow, which means more infestors will make their way into the battlefield.
Yeah.
And of course, eventually Broodlords as well, and a lot of SCVs going down.
And time is really the only thing that Morrow needs right now. He's got plenty of money. He's got plenty of bases. He's got a fantastic army composition. The only thing Morrow wants is to perfect that army composition. He's adding in the Banelings. He's finishing up the Hive. I guess we're going to see Ultras as our Hive tech of choice because there's still no Spire down.
Yeah, sorry, I mentioned Broodlords, but there is no Spire.
But yeah, I mean, Ultras even makes, you know, they make sense here because they're just going to soak up more damage. Granted, there are a decent number of Marauders out. 12
Marauders in the field right now, 8 siege tanks and 38 Marines, but we have 70 infestors and we have 44 Banelings, so in that way I think ooh, a couple of Overlords dying. No Overlords with Banelings though, but still. I was scared for a second there, man.
Morrow's got plenty of extra Overlords around the map. Maybe he's not even going to get Hive tech. He's just wanting to get the pieces in place for the very important adrenal glands upgrade.
We have 78 links as well. It seems like Morrow is going to try to sandwich this army a little bit of QXC. QXC good positioning, but there is just so much Zerg army.
Great movements here by Morrow. Awesome engagement. Banelings are going to just crash right through those Marines, and the army of QXC getting pretty much obliterated. All these Overlords are just full of Banelings. They're just waiting to unload on something.
Ooh, he's going to lose 2 of those Banelings, 2 of those Overlords right now. 3. Oh, wow. Lucky Overlord, man. Bumpy ride, but they still.
We've got 2 more Overlords. One going to the main mineral line, the other going to the natural mineral line. Kev, look at the natural right now. Oh, okay. Well, there wasn't as many SCVs there as I thought there was, but it was still glorious.
Just because there are not that many SCVs on the map anymore, only 45 SCVs remaining. We do have a planetary fortress over here, nice split from all those infestors. But look at Morrow, QXC just focusing the infestors, but he is going to end up losing this planetary. That's going to hurt quite a bit, certainly because he just dropped all his mules there as well.
This is some of the most impressive ZVT I've ever seen.
Yeah. This is great.
I mean, QXC is we saw he played great in the first game. I don't think he's played badly in this game.
No, not at all. I really don't feel that QXC is playing poorly or anything. I just feel that Morrow is playing a whole other level of StarCraft right now.
Again, we got 16 Lings about to be unloaded in the main base as more Zerglings run into the natural. They're going to surround these Marauders.
This drop is not going all that well on either side. He's going to be able to once more pick up a few SCVs. The best thing is right now he's making QXC so extremely paranoid that QXC is just too afraid to move out. And he just lost that 4th base once more. So QXC right now is basically trying to stabilize on 3 empty bases.
I do feel like Morrow should maybe stop dropping though. I mean, he's done.
Yeah, right. I know. But what I tried to say as well, Ben, I agree with you. He's just making QXC so extremely paranoid that QXC doesn't dare to move out. And if he moves out with a too small of an army that he left too much behind, he's going to get crushed in the middle of the map.
Morrow again sees QXC out on the map, and again is going to send in 5 more Overlords full of Zerglings. This time there's nothing back in the main base because those units are out on the map, and Morrow just making QXC's life a real living. This has got to be the most painful thing to play against.
Yeah, QXC thought, wow, I thought Terran drops were good, but I think a couple of missile turrets wouldn't have hurt it though.
That would have been a nice adjustment to see. Yeah, I think that's a great observation. More multi-pronged aggression as Lings try to make their way into the 3rd base, but Hellions there are going to keep that from being very effective.
First Ultras are on the map now.
Morrow sitting on a pretty nasty supply block right now, Kev, after losing so many Overlords. 154 of 132 supply.
Morrow has killed 90 workers so far. That's pretty crazy for...
The sick thing is QXC is still in this game. He's got 102 army supply. It's more army than Morrow has. Now Morrow's army looks terrifying. Plus 3 attack. Zerglings and Ultras. Adrenal glands coming.
He's going to land, I think, a couple of fungals. Yes, he lands the first one. Once more ends up losing an Overlord. If I were Morrow, I would just temporarily abandon this base. There's really no need to take a fight right now, while Morrow could be maxed out within 35 to 40 seconds.
I think he might do just that, as he does not look like he's going to engage here.
He really doesn't have to. He's going to try to save it with Infestus.
Okay, well, I guess that's okay. Ling's going to come in and clean up most of these Marauders.
Look at all those medevacs, Ben. Ah, that hurts.
But Morrow does keep that base alive for the time being. He's got more units streaming out. Lots of Ultras, Banelings, and Infestors waiting to come flank this big force.
QXC is still trying to pour some pressure on this expand, but Morrow is just defending with Infestors only. The hedge is so low on HP, but it's still alive. Hero Marauder!
Can you do it?
He can.
Yes, he can.
Oh, man, it's a little bit burrowed Infestor play right now. He's going to spot that these tanks are on siege. Straight away, Morrow is coming in as well.
And this is going to be a very tough fight for QXC. Oh, the tanks try to go back into siege mode, but they're only going to get a single shot off before Morrow connects with the Banelings and the Ultras.
A lot of reinforcements coming in. Not sure if Morrow used all of his energy. These Ultras are actually disappearing right now. QXC doing a really good job picking up those Ultras, but look at Morrow's production tab right now, Ben. He's producing 7 Ultras.
Yeah, that could be a product of the armor upgrades, Kev. Those Ultras just with the... I guess the
only one armor.
Yeah, the 1 armor upgrade, plus 2 armors finishing up. 7 Ultras, 38 Lings coming, but QXC is stuck around and stuck around and stuck around. He is he's still about 60 supply down, but if he can secure 1 more base, man, QXC's completely mined out. Yeah,
that's why it was so important that Morrow picked up this 4th base during all that aggression.
Yeah.
He knows that like dropping like that is good, even though you're not always cost effective. You're supply effective, as you say, man. And as you can make bad trades if you're heavily outmining your opponent. Ooh, Morrow. He's up losing a few Infestors over there, or at least one of them. Yeah, Morrow is maxed out. Morrow knows what's going on over here, so I can only imagine him moving out as soon as all these Ultras are here, a couple of extra Banelings, and then just going for it once more.
Yeah,
Morrow has played so good this game.
Such a clinic. I loved that drop play, just attacking from every angle.
If I ever take ZVT coaching lessons, man, I think Morrow is going to be my pick.
QXC starting to make his way up towards the, I guess we'll call it the 5th base of Morrow. This feels like a really dangerous push to me because he's not got that big of an army and he's spreading it out.
And if anything, Morrow wants to fight.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. I was like, I don't know, man, need to free up some supplies, so I'm going to go more Ultras. He's got 8 of them out.
Morrow dropped a couple of Infestors in the main base and is going to try to take out this Orbital Command with these...
yeah, and at the same time, he's engaging this main army over here on the left side of the map, and like we said, that army of QXC is just so spread out.
A lot of Banelings blowing up on the siege tanks, but it doesn't really matter. Morrow still has so much. He's a little bit afraid to walk up that ramp because he doesn't know what's going on over there. I can understand that. But Morrow is still maxed out, while QXC right now is only at 130 supply. But he's probably outmining Morrow, man.
He is, in fact, outmining Morrow by a pretty substantial margin.
Yeah, Morrow mined out these 3 bases as well. So we really need to saturate this base a little bit more. That's a little bit sloppy, Morrow.
Ohana's running out of resources, Kev.
Still have this base on the right side over here.
It's deep in QXC territory. That would be a hard one for Morrow to secure.
Yes, yeah. I mean, to some degree, you're right, of course. Certainly, if Tanks is going to siege up over here on the high ground, that's going to make it hard. But as long as Morrow has that base, it means that QXC doesn't have it.
What do you make of this big drop on the right side of the map?
It's a risky one.
Again, Morrow wants to go, I guess, for the main.
He can take out pretty...
nothing. A couple of production facilities.
Couple of supply depots.
QXC is again pushing on the left side of the map. Couple of burrowed
Bongo
banelings.
misses. I like those burrowed banelings, that's smart.
Oh, Ultra. And here's the big drop in the main base. Lings, Ultras, and even some Infestors unloading here. This is going to take out a lot of QXC's ability to create
did you
units.
see that, man? So awesome. He dropped all those Infested Terrans over here. So he trapped the siege tank. Man, I love it. So cool. I mean, it was probably more an accident than it was on purpose, but it looked like the most brilliant thing ever. It was probably just to cut off reinforcements rather than trapping new units, but still, it was so cool.
Here's one Ultra that got unloaded on the low ground. I got this, guys. Chomping on some siege tanks. He is, of course, going to die, but not before he does get a tank kill.
Morrow just saves most of his drop once more.
But still, Kev, QXC's supply is steadily climbing.
Now Morrow's going to try to break this. He's going to have to land some good fungus. Banelings rolling in as well, getting decent connection, but we don't have that many Banelings. Beautiful positioning by QXC.
I think this is an okay engagement for QXC. The rest of his units are going to come over, and Morrow's Ultra is melting away. So QXC, we've been really lauding Morrow, saying he's been so awesome this game, but QXC's just been hanging in there.
Does he see those Banelings? No, he doesn't see the Banelings, man. Morrow, Banelings.
There they go. And the Ultra will get the last laugh, slicing that Marauder in half.
Reverse psychology. First drop in the game for Terran after 30 minutes.
Finally making its way back to at the back of the mined out third base of Morrow. Morrow's still dropping QXC, Kev. He's got going to work on what remains in the main base in terms of production.
Morrow's macro was slipping just a little bit though while he was dropping and attacking that fourth base of QXC, but I'm really going to close my eyes for that one, man, because he's provided us with a really entertaining game. One Overlord will fall, but not the Overlord with the precious cargo.
Overlord drop harass. Which Overlord is it in?
Yeah, it's like this drinking game, you know? When they put like the dice in one of the 3 classes. Where's the Overlord? That one. Ooh, always wrong.
Morrow is going to try to take this final base in the bottom right, Kev. And he's going to be in trouble if he can't secure it because, okay, well, he's okay. He's got a little bit of money left. But not a whole hell of a lot.
These 2 Steam Marines are actually going to force a cancel on this hedge. You have to cancel it, Morrow, and that's exactly what he does. And now, wow, man, really? People are flying over their orbital? No way.
Oh, look at Morrow. Did you see that? Banelings.
Yeah. Did you see that video of cats on Reddit right now?
Bro, Banelings. Oh, that's a pretty solid connection, killing about 12 Marines there. QXC scans, takes out the...
Oh, and now I think Morrow knows so many units are on the other side. He should just go with Ultras first. That's exactly what he does. I think he will be able to kill this base.
I think so too, Kev. QXC is completely out of position. He's got to cross the entire map to get here in time. And this...
Bongo, oh my god.
Oh, every SCV. And that is a brutal loss for QXC. He's been playing such a good job hanging in there all game long. 114 workers killed. Holy hell.
And that's not because of 1 or 2 big attacks. It's just throughout the entire game. And he's not done yet. Harassing with a couple of Zerglings over here. Almost able to take out a mule. QXC right now, I mean, army-wise, it's 128 against 113. So Morrow's still going to need a good engagement to really take out
the Ultra.
The Ultra dropper.
He's been dropped in the main base. QXC really wants to kill him.
It's the Ravager, man. It's like a micro challenge.
Jump, jump, jump.
An A for effort.
Was not able to burrow in time. So QXC still has that one mining base. This time it's on the right side of the map.
Yeah, he didn't have to worry. I mean, there was still quite a bit of money here, but not all that much. It's more important what is going on.
On the left.
That's what's in this.
Never mind. QXC's going to go make a fight over here on the right side. He will take out this mining base of Morrow's, and he's going to get a lot of drones as well.
Yeah,
Could get a
Morrow
lot
can
of drones
afford
as
to
well.
lose a few drones though. Morrow dropping a lot of infested talents over here. Will be able to clear out this space as well. This orbital is flying to freedom. It's probably gonna land over the...
God, the infested Terrans in the natural of QXC.
Got DPS there?
I think they're going to kill pretty much everything there. Or maybe they're just going to die to Steam Marines.
The bunker is helping out a ton.
But still, Morrow just continuing to spread QXC out. QXC has got so little money, and now he's losing valuable infrastructure, and he's not exactly in a position where he can rebuild barracks and factories, Kev.
No, and Morrow still has 2,800 minerals, 35 minutes of action so far on Ohana. We see excellent PVZs on this map, man, but what about this TVZ? How do you like them apples? Oh, Bailings! Nah, Marauder's not good enough, I guess. He wants the Marines, man. Morrow.
Oh, anticlimax. 2 Banelings blowing up with nothing overhead. Infestor is going to fungal a few units before being shot down by Billy the Marine. But Morrow still denying mining.
Morrow, I think Morrow could have sent 1 Ultra there. With splash damage, he wouldn't be able to kill a lot of those SCVs. He might end up losing a few Ultras here.
He wants to bait him over the Banelings.
Ah, 6. Look at those Banelings. It's like, wow, Morrow's losing a lot of Ultras right now, man.
A little bit careless here. But now he's got Infestors, Lings, and Banelings.
He has a lot of Banelings.
Yeah, huge fungals. Banelings going to roll in as well. And I think this may be the final fight as QXC is going to lose the last of his bio. What a series.
What a game. What a series, indeed. I mean, first game was just good play on either side, but this game was just absolutely nuts.
37 minutes of action.
GG is what QXC finally says after game 2 on Ohana. Morrow wins the series 2-0. But wow, what play out of QXC as well. He
QXC
survived
pretty good.
for so long. I think he looked really good, man. This is the best of QXC I've seen in a while, which sounds silly after he lost, but I think Morrow played ridiculously good StarCraft, and QXC was able to go head-to-head with him.
Looks like QXC's been putting in some practice time. That was very, very impressive play out of QXC. Morrow takes the series 2-0. Not often you see that kind of drop play.
No. I mean, the other way around, sure. Terran's dropping all over the place. That makes sense. But a Zerg containing Terran with drops?
I kind of feel like if Morrow had, like everything he did, like with the dropping was awesome. But for somehow he just kind of plateaued, like in the later stage, later part of the mid game, and just kind of stopped doing damage. Do you think it would have made more sense if he went Broodlord?
I think he definitely had the resources to do so, because he was on 5 base, pretty secure, and I think he could have done it. But then again, everything was going quite well for him, and he seemed to have a really good time with the Ultras, and I don't know. I think maybe on a map like Ohana, because it's such a long spread out map, maybe he feels more safe with Ultras because they're a little bit more mobile and quicker.
It is tough to find good spots to park your Broodlords on Ohana. It's a pretty open map as well.
And he was loving Burrow that game, man. You can burrow your Broodlord.
It'd be so cool. They dive out of the sky, just into the ground.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
And they shoot broodlings up. That's actually what the swarm host is going to be.
The new unit.
You just burrow your broodlord.
Man, that was such a cool series. I really didn't expect that series to be so well. Promises a lot for our day, man. Our Sunday. Super Sunday, as some people call it.